Here we have 2,000 points of Astra Militarum, organized as the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons. They're organized into 2 battalions and 1 spearhead formation. We'll start here with the line infantry formation. It is led by a company commander who has a plasma pistol and power sword, and he's accompanied by a primary psyker. Behind him stand 3 infantry squads, each one led by a sergeant with a chainsword and a las pistol, each one having a flamer and a vox caster. Over on the right we have the lone platoon commander to lead those men, as well as a heavy weapon squad with 3 autocannons. Now the line squads are mounted in the 3 chimeras you see to the rear. The one on the left is armed with 2 heavy bolters. The other 2 are armed with a multi-laser and heavy bolter. And of course they have the las gun arrays as well when troops are embarked. Second battalion over here is mostly Tempestus Spions. It's led by Tempester Prime. He has both the Rod of Command and the Laurels of Command, and then he is accompanied by a psyker as well. Then we got 3 squads of 9 Tempestus Scions each. Each of the sergeants armed with a hotshot las pistol and power sword. Squad up front has 2 grenade launchers. Squad to the right and back has 2 multi-guns, and squad on the left has 2 plasma guns. And lastly, in the spearhead formation, we have 5 Lehman Russ tanks. The one on the left is the Warlord. He is armed with a Vanquisher cannon and a las cannon, and then he also has Kirov's Aquila, which will allow me to regain command points throughout the game. The tank commander on the right is in the Plasmacutioner, 2 side sponsons with heavy plasma cannons and then a heavy bolter on front. The one in the middle back is a Punisher. It has 3 heavy bolters, and it also has a dozer blade to improve its ability in assault, and I just need to spend 5 points. And then it's flanked on the left and right by 2 more Lehman Russ battle tanks, each with battle cannons. The one on the left has a las cannon in the front, and the one on the right has a heavy flamer. Now, a number of these vehicles are armed with hunter killer missiles, to include the Vanquisher, the 2 stock Lehman Russes with the battle cannons, and all 3 of the chimeras. So altogether, this would normally be 10 command points. Since I took 2 relics, it will have me starting at 9, 2,000 points, ready to go against Jake's forces of the Crimson Fist.
Okay, Jake here again with the Crimson Fist 4th Company, led by Captain Cortez, who is my warlord. I'm using Crimson Fist chapter tactics. That means they ignore cover. And also his warlord trait is Tenacious Fighter. So if there's 10 enemy models within 6 inches of him, he gets 3 extra attacks. This is a battalion detachment, by the way. A second HQ choice is a librarian. He has a power axe and a plasma pistol. And he has Fury of the Ancients and Psychic Fortress as his psychic powers. I also have a Terminator and a Librarian Terminator. And he has Veil of Time and Null Zone, and he has a Combi Plasma with his Force Staff. For troop choices, I have 4 tactical squads. The first tactical squad is a full 10-man tactical squad. The sergeant has a power fist. They have a multi-melta and a melta-gun. The second tactical squad, the sergeant has a power sword and a bolt pistol. They have a plasma cannon and a plasma gun. The 2 5-man squads, the sergeants both have chainswords and bolt pistols, and they each have a heavy weapon of a missile launcher in them. Going to elites, I have a Stern Guard veteran squad. The sergeant has a power fist, and all 5 of them have the bolt guns with the special issue ammunition. Ignore the combi plasma and the combi melta on 2 of the guys in there. Second elite choice is a standard 5-man Terminator squad. I have 1 fast attack, a 5-man assault squad. The sergeant has a power fist and combat shield, and the other 4 just have chainswords and bolt pistols. For heavy support, I have 2 Devastator squads. Both sergeants have the chain swords and bolt guns. The first Devastator squad has 2 las cannons and 2 missile launchers. The second Devastator squad has 2 plasma cannons and 2 heavy bolters. And I also have a Thunderfire cannon. And then I have 3 designated transports. I have a Razorback with twin link las cannon. And I have 2 Rhinos with 2 Stormbolters each, with a Stormbolter each. And that is it.
Feeling confident?
Feeling good, Mike. We're going
right.
to pound your greater good, reputable scum, Imperial Guard into the dirt.
We shall see.
What is the location?
The battle lines have been drawn and we will play Frontline Assault tonight. That is 15 inches in the center and then makes a diagonal down to 6 inches on both sides for a nice spearhead formation. The mission will be Tactical Gambit, one of the new Maelstrom of War missions from Chapter Approved. It's a little bit complicated, but it works as such. Each turn you'll have 4 tactical objectives, and you have to make a wager on how many of those you're going to score before you even see them. If you score that many, congratulations, and you have to bet at least one, you get those points, but you lose anything over that amount. So if I choose 2 and I score 3 objectives, I will get 2 points for that. On the other hand, if you fail to reach the 2, then your opponent gets that many points. So it can be awfully big swings here tonight. In addition to that, we have the usual secondaries of Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood. Okay, Jake, you want to go over your deployment first?
Alright. Over here, tucked behind this building, we have the Thunderfire cannon that has a 60-inch range and the Tech Marine. We have a 5-man tactical squad in here with a missile launcher. We have the 5-man Devastator squad right here with the 2 heavy bolters and 2 plasma cannons. We have the Razorback with the captain, the Warlord, Captain Cortez, and the Stern Guard inside of it. The Librarian right there. Yes, I know it's weird, but that's where he's at. The Rhino with the 10-man tactical squad. The Sergeant with the Power Fist, the Multi-Melta, and the Melta-Gunner. 5-man Devastator squad back here with 2 missile launchers and the 2 las cannons. 10-man tactical squad inside of a Rhino right here. The last 5-man squad of tactical squad over here with the missile launcher. And deep strike.
We'll cover those in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so 17th Light Dragoons on the board. We have the Force Leader Warlord right here on the right in his Vanquisher, holding down Objective 4 with his Wingman. And that's the Lehman Roos number 2-1. It has the Battle Cannon and the Last Cannon. Over on the right, we have another Lehman Russ. I think I said Lehman Roos earlier. Lehman Russ.
You're an American.
Punisher. Farther on the right flank, we have a unit with a platoon leader in 1-2 right there. So a squad's in there along with the platoon leader. And then 3-1 holding down the right flank. No objectives over on this side of the board. As we move left, we have a heavy weapons squad with autocannons holding down objective number 2. They're supported by a Chimera here. This is going to be 1-3. It has both a squad and a primary psyker in there. And then far left flank, we have the last Lehman Russ. This is the Plasmacutioner, which is a company commander. They are looking towards objective 5 in the corner there. Objective 1. Jake has 3 firmly in his grasp back there, while 6 is well positioned for Jake to be able to get it. Okay, with that, Jake, we have to roll to see who goes first. Jake got done 1 before me as far as who managed to get done deploying first, so he'll have a +1 here. I've rolled a 1, so Jake wins. Before we do anything though, Jake, I will try to steal the initiative.
And here it comes.
On a 6. That's a 2. Okay, we're going to show you who we got in Deep Strike Reserve, and then we'll start the game.
I have 3 Deep Strike Reserve units. The first one is that 5-man assault squad with the sergeant that has the Power Fist, Storm Shield, Bolt Pistol. And back in the back, the Librarian and Terminator armor, and the standard Terminator squad.
In my Deep Strike reserves, I got my 3 units of Tempestus Scions along with the Tempester Prime, waiting to come in, graphs, shoot insertion style. On to the game. Okay, Jake has boldly gone for 3 in the first round of Tactical Gambit. You want to see what you got, Jake?
I put down Secure Objective 4, Overwhelming Firepower, Assassinate, and Secure Objective 6.
All right, Jake, your objectives: secure 6 right there, secure 4 back here. So, assuming that you're not going to be able to get the 4, you need to
bold maneuvers,
assassinate somebody and overwhelming firepower somebody, as well as getting 6. Otherwise, it's going to be a quick lead for me. So, on the turn 1 movement, Crimson Fist turn 1 movement phase, Jake.
His tactical squad shuffled forward some, giving the missile launcher guy line of sight that way and line of sight out this door this way. His Devastator squad shuffled forward, was able to move up here. The Razorback shuffled forward here. This squad dismounted the Rhino, moved out 3, moved up 4 and over 2 inches on the landing pad. The Librarian moved backwards. I meant to put him in the crater, but I wasn't thinking when I placed him. This Rhino shuffled forward behind the cover. This 5-man tactical squad shuffled around back here. And Deep Strikes, go big or go home. Hiding back here in a tactical position is Secure Objective 6 is the Assault Squad. And right here is my Terminator Librarian and my Terminator Squad. 9 inches away from his closest tank.
Punisher. All right, so it was a bold move. Now onto your Psychic phase. You got 2 Librarians to run through, so here we go.
Each Librarian does 2 Psychic powers.
Indeed they do.
Phase. Psyker attempted to roll a Wheel of Time, perilled on double 1s, rolled a command point, rolled a 1 again. On the D3, he lost 1 wound, and then he was able to successfully cast Null Zone. And then over here, this guy cast Psychic Fortress on the Devastator squad.
Okay, I did roll a 5 up for Kurov's Aquila, so I did gain a command point, bringing me up to 11, as Jake lost 1. Very unfortunate start to the game. See if it improves here for Jake.
Shooting Thunderfire Cannon at those guys over there. Killed 1 wound off of 1 base.
So when Jake did that, my guys immediately took cover for 1 command point, improving their armor save by 1.
This Devastator squad here targeted the Warlord. I think they moved 1 point off him.
Indeed.
No points. This double Oz cannon took 6 off of him.
Yep. Jake did use a command reroll for that one, because he originally rolled a 1.
And these guys shot their Stormbolters into him.
Yep.
Taking 2 wounds off him, or 1?
1 wound.
This multi-melta gunner took off 3 wounds off of this guy.
Yep.
These guys took 1 more wound off of 1 base over there.
It's very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Okay.
Charge phase.
I mean, you did some good damage against the Lehman Russes, but was not able to get first blooded yet. But you do have a charge coming up, so we'll probably come to that next.
Alright, as you can see, my assault phase went better than my shooting phase. I was able to engage both tanks. I didn't take any wounds off the Warlord, but I was able to blow up the Punisher tank.
Yep.
And I was able to consolidate onto objective number 4, and I think I own it.
No, we'll have to talk about that one here in a second. I do want to point out, though, I did
you have
use
2 models near it. I only have 1 unit.
Also, those are equivalently objective secured because they are Lehman Russ tanks in a heavy spearhead detachment. Yeah. But I did use defensive gunners on the Punisher and inflicted 1 wound on Overwatch to the Terminators.
And no, he got the psychic phase.
Yep, he hurt himself. Okay, so not bad for you there, Jake. We will come back with what Jake scored here in a second. Okay, so Jake did score secure objective 6, but that was less than the 3 he needed. So I get 3 points off Jake's Gambit. Jake did get 1 point though because of First Blood. So the score will be 3-1. Jake, do you want to discard any of these cards right now? We'll be back.
I am not going to discard any of them.
All right, Jake's holding on to his 3 cards. We'll go back and see what the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons draw next. All right, the Shelties have a healthy 3-1 lead over Jake, so I opted to bet 1 on my tactical Gambit. And then I pulled Defend Objective 4, Secure Objective 2, No Prisoners, and Secure Objective 6. So funny enough, Defend Objective 4, I can't score that in my round, but I can score it in your round. So that is good news for me. While 2 is over here, currently being secured. And Secure Objective 6 is firmly in Jake's hands. So pretty good wager on my part. I am definitely going to get 1 here. Actually, I do owe you a morale test for this unit over here, Jake. Not a 6. That's a 5, so they're okay. So they're going to continue to secure Objective 2 for me. And anything above 2 is really wasted points for me, so I'll have to be careful here and play smartly. All right, on to the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons, turn 1 movement phase. The Shelties have started their advance with the tank popping out of the woods here on the right, moving 5 inches, so she will be shooting twice. This Chimera moved the full 12. Over here, disengaged my Warlord from combat, moving the full 10 inches, while this guy shuffled back 5 inches. This Primera Psyker has jumped out of the Chimera. The Chimera took off without him once he jumped out and moved a full 12 inches there. These guys held in place. Moved 5 inches over towards the Terminators, make sure I'm in good range there. And lastly, this Chimera moved flat out to go a total of 14 inches. So, with that, we will go on to Shelties' turn 1 psychic phase. Okay, the Shelties' only psychic power was not a success. I cast Smite from the Primera Psyker here onto the Terminators, trying to kill the one guy who's wounded there. I rolled a 3 and a 1, re-rolled. Got 3 and 3, and then Jake denied it with his Librarian, rolling an 8. So now on to the shooting phase, which is where it counts. Starting with orders, my tank commander gave himself the ability to move an additional 6 inches, so he definitely did that. Moved farther away from the Terminators that used to be there, while he gave this tank reroll 1s to hit. This tank, combined with really the, first it was the Plasmacutioner, killed all 5 Terminators in a blaze of plasma. He had given himself reroll 1s to hit, so he came away unscathed. Overcharged all that plasma and killed the 5 Terminators. Jake only made 1 save on his 5-up. And that allowed this tank right here to kill the Librarian. It was the Hunter Killer Missile in the end that did it to the Librarian. Overall, very effective. So those were the orders. On the right, this tank right here has kept its Hunter Killer Missile. He shot up into the Devastator squad, only managing to kill 1 guy there. While this Chimera also shot up there, but didn't kill anybody. Over on the left, we had managed to hit between the Chimera and this autocannon squad. Jake's Devastator squad in the back, unfortunately, it didn't really matter as Jake made all the saves. And the Hunter Killer Missile from here did hit that Rhino, but failed to wound, rolling a 2. Now, it is important to note, since I do use the Talon Doctrine, all of these heavy weapons are hitting on 4s, even though I'm moving very far. So, in the end, having killed this Terminator squad and the Librarian, I have scored no prisoners, and I have also secured Objective 2 with that unit back there. Obviously, with the rules of this particular match, I'm only getting 1 point, but that puts me up to 4 to Jake's 1. I will also get rid of Secure Objective 6 and keep Defend Objective 4. Secure Objective 6, Jake has rather handily right there. So with that, we will go to the Space Marines turn 2. They are down 4 to 1. Jake has once again boldly gone for 3. He had Secure Objective 4. Overwhelming Firepower, and Assassinate, and he pulled Mission Critical Objective, Defend Objective 6. 4 is still way back here in our lines. His Warlord is the guy with the hammer, right, Jake?
Yes, it says nothing about has to be captured by the warlord.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so all he has to do, well, you can't score defend objective 6 on your turn is going to be the problem.
Well, I have to hold it for 2 turns.
Yeah, so you'll score it in my turn. So it's going to be very difficult for Jake to get 3 here, and we'll see what he can do. He's a little desperate going into turn 2, down 4-1. All right, Jake, take us through the Crimson Fist's turn 2 movement.
All these units back here remain the same. The Devastator squad and the Assault squad remain the same. This Rhino backed up from over here. The Razorback moved over here, bringing them to the line of sight of these tanks and all this stuff over here. This tactical squad shuffled forward, getting him within multi-melta range and melta range of his warlord.
For the Emperor.
These guys stayed put. These guys popped out of these advancing infantrymen. They sent some mutant chaos scum in there, so they're going to try to shoot it down. And that's it for movement phase.
All right, so psychic phase. You have your
moving to psychic phase.
Remaining. We're going to put this on tape.
I'm going to do Psychic Fortress on these guys.
Okay.
I'm 5 up.
Jake has rolled a 2 and a 3, so that's a 5. They have Psychic Fortress again.
And he's going to do Smite on this guy.
Also needing a 5 up.
7.
So it'll be D3 mortal wounds for 3. All right, it's down to 7. Good job, Jake. We'll go to shooting phase next. Turn 2 shooting for the Crimson Fist. It's safe to say it was kind of a frustrating turn for you, Jake. What'd you do?
These guys all shot at him. Took a few wounds off of him.
Overcharging the plasma guns.
Overcharging the plasmas. They both survived.
Yeah, very nice.
This last cannon and heavy bolter devastators, and heavy missile launchers try to take out the warlord. The Signum guy, I had to use a command point to reroll to hit the Signum guy. I didn't take no wounds off him with those
No wounds off of both last cannons and both missile launchers.
The Razorback.
Yeah.
No wounds.
No, it did some wounds.
No. 3 wounds.
Yeah, it did 3.
And then this squad, the multi-meltas and melta-gun took off another 3.
Yep, took off 4.
And then this squad, the rest of the guys, bolters shooting into there, took off
None.
None?
Yep.
I thought they took off 1.
Nope.
You missed 1 off a bolt gun shot, I thought.
Okay. I missed one off a missile over here.
Missile launcher, crack at him. Took a missile off of him.
6 wounds on that crack missile.
And this guy, Thunderfire Cannon, of course, I only rolled 4 hits, and then I only rolled 3 wounds and only caused 1 wound.
And 1 wound went through, so he still has 3 wounds left. He is shaken, but still moving, as is the Talon way. Okay. So I think that was it, Jake. So now we're on to your assault phase. Are you going to be assaulting?
Yes.
All right, so we'll come back after the assault phase. Jake, the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons can be a bit frustrating to play. I think you're experiencing that a little bit right now. So you did get the charge off against the Chimera, and I did use defensive gunners again.
Yes, and I survived all the wounds rolling my saves.
I made 5 wounds with defensive gunners, 2 with the multi-laser, 2 with the heavy bolter, and 1 with the last gun array. But you made them all. And then you made the charge. And then what happened?
I had a low charge, so I only had a 7-inch charge, so only allowed me to get the models in. You saw it, CN right there. The sergeant with the Power Fist did not do anything. The rest of the squad took off 1 wound.
No, none.
No wounds. That's
so
right. You rolled your save.
Your sergeant did manage to wound the Chimera, but the 6-up armor save.
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had set out to score 3 objectives to close the 4-1 lead that I have. Unfortunately, you did not score any, correct?
That's right.
Okay, you are halfway to defending 6, though.
Mm-hmm.
So right now the score is going to go 7-1. Jake, do you want to throw away any of your cards at this point? I might suggest nothing. I'll let you make this decision.
Let me get rid of Objective 4.
Secure Objective 4 is going away. Okay. So with that, the Shelties will be back with their turn 2. With a commanding 7-1 lead, I have opted to just try to score 1 with my tactical gambit. I held on to defend objective 4. I have pulled secure objective 3. Priority orders received for the warlord, defend objective 1, and secure objective 6. 1 is impossible for my warlord. It's on top of the Sky Shield landing platform. Defending 4 still looks like it's a good bet for me. I will score that on Jake's turn. Securing objective 3 will be very difficult way back there. And lastly, objective 6 is up here. So I might actually struggle to score 1 this turn. We'll see if I can work any magic in the Shelties movement phase. The Shelties continue to move up on the right flank with 31 moving forward at 5 inches. This Chimera right here is still moving full speed, so it went to full 12. It will not get to 3, obviously, but it is moving that direction pretty much unsupported, except for 3-1 right there on the right. This was probably 2-1 right here. Indeed it is, and it has taken objective 4, so it will be defending that, starting my turn, hopefully scoring on Jake's turn. While my warlord has moved back, a total of 4 inches is what he can move now. He's in position to at least give some orders. Psyker has pretty much remained the same while I disembark this squad here with the company commander in behind, moving the Chimera up there to block some line of sight as this Chimera has moved forward its full speed. Over here, heavy weapons teams have remained in place while the Psyker jumped out of that Chimera onto the bridge, and the Plasmacutioner company commander is right here with a plethora of targets to be looking at. As far as dropping some guys in, here are the Tempestus Scions. 2 of the 3 squads have come in along with the Tempester Prime. Looking at objective 5, that is the squad with the multi-guns on the left and the squad with the plasma guns on the right. They will get the Tempestus Scion bonus regimental trait, which is only applying to the plasma guns this turn, but 6 is you get to do additional hits, hopefully. So that's it for the movement. On to the psychic phase. Okay, the Sheltie psychic phase. Good psyker over here, or as Jake says, mutant freak. Smited and killed 3 Marines. Well, bad psyker over here failed to manifest smite. So, on to the shooting phase next. The Shelties turn 2 shooting, pretty effective all in all. Started with orders. Tank commander gave himself strike and shroud, but then he missed with all his shots against Jake's Razorback. He gave this guy reroll 1s to hit, and this guy was pretty instrumental in killing those Devastators up there. Killed a couple of them. This Plasmacutioner did very poorly. Didn't manage to kill any Marines with the 2 side sponsons, and with the heavy gun rolled double 1s. Did manage to do a couple of wounds to Jake's Razorback, a total of 4, so that was okay. Over here, the combined firepower of both these squads ended up killing Jake's 5-man squad there, so pretty happy about that. While this Chimera managed to kill an extra 3 guys, I think, in total there. And with the heavy bolters and the last guns, unfortunately, his 100 killer missile missed on the Razorback. The 32 shots from these guardsmen here, despite decent hit rolls, only managed to do 2 wounds. Jake saved them both. And the plasma pistol didn't manage to wound either, unfortunately. So, lastly, on the left flank, these autocannons managed to strip off 2 more wounds from the Razorback. Jake failed 1 save. Over on the right side, we shot multi-laser, heavy bolter, and those last gun arrays into the assault Marines hiding in there. Unfortunately, we did not manage to do anything to them. While this tank right here polished off the 2 remaining Devastators that were in the ruins, so that squad is now gone. So overall, we've killed 2 squads and severely wounded 1 squad. So I've had better shooting phases with the Imperial Guard, but it wasn't terrible. So we will continue to roll on with our assault phase after this. So the Shelties did make their assault with this squad right here, and the captain also charged in. The captain managed to slice down 1 Marine. The squad itself didn't manage to do, it only did 1 wound, and Jake made the save. In return, power fist smashed one guardsman into oblivion, while the other Marine hit the captain, but the captain made a 5-up save. So at the end of the turn, I am halfway to defending Objective 4, but I did not secure Objective 6 or Objective 3 at this point. So I don't score any, so Jake gets 1 point for that. Jake also gets 2 points for defending Objective 6. So that's going to bring the score to 7-4. I will discard priority orders, receive, defend Objective 1, because again, my Warlord cannot get up to Objective 1. So at the end of the turn, the score is going to be 7-4.
No, 7 to... Yeah, First Blood.
Yep, 7-4. As we go on to the Crimson Fist, turn 3. Okay, we almost forgot this leadership test here. They have lost 8. Their leadership is 8. So Jake needs to roll a 1 to keep a guy here. We shall not forget, and they shall know no fear. Jake, can you roll a 1 here? Where are we going? That's a 6. Reroll. That is a 1. The sergeant stays. Okay, now on to objectives. Jake has gambled to get 3 objectives, and he did get a good draw. He already had overwhelming firepower to assassinate there in the middle. He drew secure objective 5, which I just shot his squad off of, but he has an air squad there. And then defend objective 1, of course, he cannot score that one in his turn, but he can look towards future turns to score that one. So we'll take a look at where objective 5 is and objective 1. Objective 1 right here in the middle, and we got a squad in there. It's a small squad, but it's a squad in there nonetheless. While 5 is over here on Jake's right, and we have a full squad in there. Correct, Jake?
Yeah.
They will be facing down the full might of 2 Tempestus Scion squads, but might be worth it. Also, that Chimera is in reserve. Big risk, but Jake cannot afford to give me another 3 points, so he's going to have to make this work one way or the other. On to Crimson Fist movement phase. Jake, turn 3 movement. What you got?
This tactical squad disembarked out of the Rhino. Right to here. Rhino pulled up, securing objective 5. Stern Guard squad moved up here. My Warlord is tactically commanding the battlefield behind these containers right here while maintaining 6 inches of these units, which allows them to reroll hit rolls of 1. The Sergeant made a tactical withdrawal. He sees the glory of the enemy's Warlord. For more dramatic effect, staying 1 inch away from the enemy unit and disengaging from combat. These guys shuffle around over here, the assault squad. These guys stayed put. Tech Marine stayed put. Rhino stayed put. Razorback stayed put.
Okay, so we are on to your
psychic phase.
Psychic phase, indeed. Know what you're rolling already. Okay, so what are we doing?
We're going to do Smite.
Okay, closest unit is that Chimera.
Yep.
Needs to go off on a 5. That's a 4.
6.
6, so that goes off. I need to check real quick to see if I am within 24 inches here. So I am not. I can tell right now. Well, maybe this guy is. If you can check for him.
No.
Nope, just short. Okay, so how many wounds, Jake?
3.
3 again. So this Chimera has gone from 7 down to 4. Very effective smite against it. He's lost 6 wounds to smite. Next, psychic power.
Next, he is going to do Psychic Fortress.
Okay.
The main reason why I'm doing Psychic Fortress instead of Fury of the Anchorage, which could cause another mortal wound, is because I want them to pass morale tests automatically. Psychic Fortress on a 6, it makes
6. So it makes it. Okay. Now on to your shooting phase. Next. Jake, take us through your turn 3 shooting.
The squad didn't do anything.
Shut up, my Warlord boloed again.
This guy killed 2 dudes there.
I did use a command point for them to take cover. No help.
This guy did nothing against your Warlord.
The -1 to hit because of the smoke screen certainly paid off.
Plasma Cannon died shooting him. Plasma Gunner took 2 wounds off him. The rest of the squad killed 3 dudes. Took a long shot, shot my Stern Guards with a -2 AP. Took 1 wound off him. No, he didn't, he saved it.
I saved it with a 5-up.
Melt the bomb from this guy. Took a wound off of this, or 2 wounds off it.
I think it's about 4.
Oh! Thunderfire Cannon.
Oh yeah, so it took like 4 wounds off of him.
Yeah.
Other than that, not much. So Thunderfire Cannon, Jake, what's that going after?
It's going to go after this squad right here.
Okay. So 43. So that's 6 again.
6 again.
You're hitting on 3s. So all but 1, huh?
Yeah.
Strength 5, you need 3s to wound. And so that's 4. This could be pretty good for you. So this is a 6-up save for me. It's all over. Oh, I make 1, 2 of them, but 2 more guys are killed here. Okay, so that should be it for the shooting phase. And we'll come back after the assault phase next. Jake's Crimson Fists have slaughtered my infantry squad and the company commander. 1 guy remaining. As he's going down, he picks up the Voxcaster hand mic and he calls in coordinates to his position. So now Jake has 3 units within 3 inches. I roll on a 4 up. He'll take D3 wounds, starting with this sergeant over here. 4 up? Yes. So Jake, he will die. The Stern Guard squad on a 4 up? No. And the large tactical squad on a 4 up? Yes. D3 mortal wounds for 1. So Lone Guardsman does manage to take out 2 Space Marines on that very risky Gambit. Could have done better, but that's not bad.
I'm going to get Plasma Cutioner to death. Okay,
Jake, take us through your assault phase before you capitulate.
Both these units charged the captain and the squad here, killing them. You saw the results of the fire on my position.
Dead Space Marine. Dead Space Marine.
The captain took out the Chimera.
Did not explode.
These guys, the Power Fist did nothing, and they caused 1 wound on the Chimera.
Okay, as far as scoring at this point, Jake.
I did not score overwhelming firepower because I did not shoot something down in the shooting phase. I should have gone for my squad of dudes, possibly everything at the Chimera or everything at the infantry squad, and tried to kill them. But tried to go to take out his warlord. Did not work again. Lost cannons failing me.
Really did. That squad right back there, your Devastator squad, really came up short tonight.
This whole game.
Okay, so with Jake failing to score his 3 objectives, I get those 3 points. I have also defended objective 4, so that is a 5-point swing to me, which brings the score to 12-4. And Jake?
It's turn 3.
Turn 3, bomb turn 3.
For me, 8 points times 4 is 12 for me if I get 8 points both times. If not, it just builds Mike's score up. So the Crimson Fists are going to withdraw to attack again another day and leave these guys alone.
Okay.
Call to bigger and better things.
So looking over the battlefield, all in all, you did pretty well against the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons. This tank, of course, unmolested. This Chimera down to 1. It does have the squad and platoon leader unfazed inside of it, and they were ready to hop on objective 3 or 6.
I mean, if you look at it, the only thing those 2 vehicles did here is the Devastator squad.
Yeah, and I'm good with that, you know.
Yep, it was good.
And they were about to score some objectives. Yeah. Over here, this tank unmolested, of course, but you did a walloping on the Warlord. If it wasn't for that smoke screen he ordered himself to use, you probably would have killed him. You killed one of my heavy weapons teams, a Chimera dead over there, the squad that was embarked and the captain all dead. Over here, though, a slightly wounded Chimera on 4 wounds left and 2 squads of Tempestus Scions looking good.
Probably should have shot him at those dudes instead of the stormtroopers.
Plasma Cutioner, all good. So I think...
Roll here?
Nope, because you just killed 2 of them now. That's it would be now that I would do the morale phase for them. Mm-hmm. Their leadership, I believe, is 7. Yep. So as long as they didn't roll a 6, they'd be good. So I think probably a good call to surrender at this point, Jake. But you did a little bit of wall up on the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons. We do want to do a recap after this, though. So stay tuned for more 40k talk.
That's a direct order. Do it now. to the War Corgi YouTube channel. First time the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons came out to play, and this was the third match against your Crimson Fist, who thus far is the only army on the channel to beat them in the second game, which was pretty much a Pyrrhic victory because you had like 2 guys left at the end of that game. Was it much?
Victory is a victory.
Yes.
It's a victory.
But now you're 1-2 against the
Yeah.
Shelties, and you know the Shelties don't come out much on the channel because it's just really a frustrating army to play, I would suggest.
I'm a guard player, as you know. You go tank heavy and stormtroopers, it's cool. I've done that a few times on you as well. It is a tough list. I mean, I enjoyed playing this game. I think I had just some really bad rolls. I mean, you can't help that. I really think some of my rolls, I think your Warlord could have been dead at least by turn 2. If not, turn 1 if my guys rolled a little bit better. I made that bold maneuver.
That's the thing with the
with the Terminators.
That's the thing with the Lehman Rue spell tank is even with the odds aren't that great with the toughness 8, as I said before. The Lehman Russ, of course, guys. I've been corrected many times on that. You can shoot a lot into it, and if you're not rolling hot, and you do have to not roll average, you need to roll hot. They can just stick around, as my Warlord did today.
And then you see my tanks do that. Remember, I tied up one of your units with the Chimera the whole game, didn't I? Against your War Corgis? Somewhere of the Wicks, maybe?
Yeah, probably with the Wicks.
Yeah.
So, last time you played your IG, I was a little frustrated with my witches, and that I could only hit chaff. This is a whole different type of frustrating, I would say, because you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. Because while you're doing damage to vehicles, they're still operational for a long time, and they're still dangerous to you, and you're not getting the sweet human guys in the inside until very late in the game.
And the tank orders and the tanks being objective secured because of the Vanguard detachment they were in. I mean, that right there. That's the reason I put the Terminators up there, and I wasn't thinking about that. That's why I put the Terminators there. Get objective 4 in the first turn. Okay, they're probably gonna die. Maybe with some lucky rolls, they might live. They did not. But if they would have got that objective, I mean, took some damage. The guys swinging on the Warlord did too much. But I mean,
they didn't do anything.
There was a possibility there for them to strip it of some more wounds and possibly would have hosed him. Who knows?
Yeah. So Lehman Russ in the Spearhead detachment is objective secured, and it came in handy again tonight. It does make the list that much more playable. I would suggest, Jake, and you might not agree here. You were very bold in many of your gambits tonight, and you were 0 for 3, and you gave me 9 points. That is your play style. It is who you are, and that's what we love about you. You're going to always overcharge that plasma gun. You're going to go for 3 gambits, even though everything has to go right, and when it doesn't, then you tend to lose big. I played very conservative, especially after you gave me the early lead. So. Any thoughts on that one?
I mean, looking at the objectives, the way the table was set up with the objectives, I mean, I think we placed them pretty fairly. We all pretty much did drops in each deployment zone. We got the big ones out there in the center. We got some other ones in the center. I mean, I went bold because I was near the objectives. I mean, right there, I was on 4 objectives in turn 1, with just pretty much just moving my dudes up. I mean, that's why I went bold. What if I got more secure objective cards instead of the ones I got in the beginning? That's what I did. That's what I was looking at, and that's what I did.
Yeah, no, and I can appreciate that playstyle. I will say with this Gambit mission, you have to be very careful because there are objectives that you cannot score in your turn. The defend objective X is probably the one that you can't score in your turn, and it becomes very difficult. There's other objectives that you might not be able to score just because I don't have the right unit in the game. So. You're looking at maybe trying to kill a side.
I was for sure I was going to have Warlord kill on the second turn and get the character model out.
All right, 1 second. Okay, Jake. Bold moves didn't pay off.
Nope.
You ended up giving me 9 points in the first 3 turns.
Yeah.
And we were talking about some of those objectives just aren't scoreable. It's the luck of the draw. That's why it's a Gambit mission. I played very conservatively because I had the lead the whole time.
And I played like I played.
Yeah. Really interesting podcast that I started listening to. It is called The Best General.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a guy from Atlanta trying to win the Atlanta GT. Brilliant podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like an NPR show / Warhammer 40k discussion. And he talks a lot about being in somebody's pocket. And I think what you were looking at starting this game was an uphill battle against a very tough list. So it made sense to be aggressive early on. So I can't blame you anywhere there, but it certainly did not pay off for you tonight. But if you played conservatively, you probably would have lost as well. So you did have to take some chances, and after that first turn, you had to keep taking chances. So interesting mission. What do you think of it?
I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, it definitely puts a spin on things, and I thought it was a good game.
It does make an already very random Maelstrom mission even more random, I would say. There are some controls there, but you really, it's all about betting well, I suppose. I like the board tonight. Lots of line of sight blocking terrain. Your rhinos with their low profile managed to stay out of firing solutions for my tanks for the most part. And my tanks managed to avoid some of yours. The thing is, with this deployment zone being as it is, it's very hard for me with a very up-armored list to protect units. I did put forward my Punisher, and it did get run over by those Terminators, but I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to play defensive gunners, which I played numerous times this game, allowing you to hit on 5s and 6s in Overwatch. So, not my favorite deployment style for this particular guard force, and I know a lot of people say I need more bubble wrap, but that's not the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons.
I mean, you measured a few times for your stormtroopers over in the left-hand flank of my battlefield, and a 9-inch bubble. I got to remember that.
Yep.
And look out for that. You're starting to collapse the right flank, and the center was the center. It was just, that's where I had to go to get the points.
Yes, and like you were predicting, I think your center would have taken a pummeling on my turn 3. That Plasma Executioner had one turn where it rolled bad, turn 2, and it still killed a couple. It still took off 4 wounds off that Razorback, and killed a couple Marines. That thing is just brutal, especially with the Tank Commander upgrade. I do enjoy that model.
The Razorback, I know I moved that around a lot. I know a lot of the players these days, they take the double autocannons and double las cannons on, and they leave them for support weapons back in the rear and stuff like that. But I was just thinking that put the commander in there with his sledgehammer, the stern guard guys in there, and maybe roll up, get out, squish something, and shoot something. I just had to play it like I did, keep moving around to shoot that warlord and stuff like that. I was just seeing my transport as a way to maneuver my armies, those units up close, to try to get out and attack your tanks. With the melta guns in the one squad, the plasma guns, I kind of held those guys off to the end in the one plasma squad with the plasma cannon and plasma gun to jump out and shoot appropriately when they needed to, and I think they did that. They charged in appropriately as well too. A lot of guys are using the scout squads. I debated on using the scout squads instead of the 2 5-man tactical squads I did, but I was playing with points, and I was like, Space Marine squad with the missile launcher, better armor, better flank security, and that's why I took those 2 5-man squads right there.
I will say your 3-up armor save in cover was doing some work for you tonight. I was doing a lot of hits, multi-lasers, AP dash, last guns, AP dash. We're just bouncing off that 2-up save in cover. So I do like that.
I say one thing though, the bolters mounted on the chimeras, I think is -1. Heavy bolter, -1 shooting at armored guys is a good thing.
Oh, okay. Yes. I also want to arm my chimeras with either storm bolters or the heavy stubbers, because I think that's a pretty cheap upgrade that adds some firepower to them. And with the Talon Doctrine, which I love to run, you don't subtract anything for the heavy stubber. I was playing with it all night tonight. It always comes in handy firing those heavy bolters off the chimeras or off the sponsons for your Lehman Russes is key. I even put a lot of 100 killer missiles on my stuff tonight, hitting on 4s instead of 5s if you move them. It's just a lot of fun. You didn't get to see the speed tonight because, number one, the board was really congested. And you were doing a good job of holding down choke points and then number 2, the deployment style really limit my ability to make some roads into you. But I think after a while, probably wasn't gonna be as fast tonight as I've been in the past. But you still have that capability with the Talon Doctrine that the Light Dragoons subscribe.
There's another thing to think about with your Talon Doctrine. Like I mount my Chimeras, the heavy flamers on the front when you're playing a squishy army. Moving those, it's automatic hits, and it's D6 heavy flamer, and when you're getting charged as a vehicle as well, I mean that can knock some stuff out. That's how I mount my Chimeras up. But definitely for playing an armored blist, like Space Marines with infantry, the heavy bolters I think are great with that +1.
Yeah,
knocking things down.
I think they're fun, and my witches hate the heavy flamers on your chimeras, by the way.
Oh yeah,
you already know that.
And they hate the Hellhounds. Don't charge the Hellhounds. Don't charge Hellhounds.
Make that mistake once.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really what I want to talk about. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't know. Space Marines, 8th edition, all the Primaris stuff that came out. I have them. I still have the Primaris guys. They're assembled now. They're just not painted. Maybe a Hellbat Blaster squad out there might do something, or the regular Intercessor guys. I don't know. I just GW. I can't get over the hump on these dudes.
I'm there.
I'm there. If you make Primaris Space Marine tactical squads, if you make Primaris Marine assault squads, if you make Primaris Marine Devastator squads, I think that would make me want to possibly even paint up a whole other chapter or a whole other company of the Crimson Fists. And let's say 5 years down the road, it's only Primaris Marines fighting. I mean, I think that's the future for Space Marines. That means totally retooling up a whole another army. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I still don't think the regular Marines are going to go away. What are you going to do with all those Razorbacks and
I think
stuff?
in either in 5 years you're going to see what I said, what I want you to do GW, and all the old stuff's going to phase away. I mean, they can do it. And it's just going to be the Primaris stuff.
I hope not all running around in that new hover tank. I hope not.
Maybe they make an upgraded hover Rhino. I don't know.
So the War Corgis are coming infantry heavy once I get them painted up. I've been putting most of my hobby attention on the Witch Cult Incessant Rage. It's been so much fun. Looking forward to that codex whenever it drops. After that, it will be back to the Corgis, getting them up to speed with the Primaris. I love them.
My next little Space Marine mix, which is a last thing I gotta finish painting up, is this Corvus Blackstar over here. Is a little Death Watch squad. I have these guys over here. Yeah.
You mentioned that a flyer could come in handy tonight, huh?
I think a flyer that's hard to hit, like a Corvus Blackstar.
Nice color scheme on that.
I made it so I can attach the autocannons or the las cannons on the front. The missiles, I think people will let you say it's this missile or that missile. I don't think it matters.
In this house, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
You have the different options that you can drop on the top without having to glue things down. The bolters on the top here, the Auspex array or the Corvus Blackstar launcher in the back. You can do the two different tops right there on and off. They slide in real easy. I can show you some of these things without any tricks of magnetization or anything.
You need this, huh? Okay.
You can just drop these on the top. You don't have to worry about magnetizing, and they just drop right in. So I think this, I can't remember if this is the Infernum or the thing. It's either the side sponsored ones or not. And then there's the Auspex array. You can just drop it on top. And then you have the bolt guns that you can slide on as another upgrade. No magnetization whatsoever. In the front here with the assault cannons and the las cannons, they can click in.
New GW models are so nice.
They're
very
great.
nice. So, if you want to see Jake play his Death Watch in the future against something maybe not the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons, let us know in the comments. And as always, we appreciate any comments that you guys send us. I respond to nearly every one of them. Jake is on there as well, so if you have any advice or if you got any rules mistaken tonight, please let us know. We try to do our best not to make any, and we appreciate you letting us know when we do make them so we don't make them in the future.
And my Death Watch is just a kill team and a Death Watch captain.
That's what a Death Watch is supposed to be.
That's one thing I really, like the Death Watch getting their own codex, like a whole army of Death Watch didn't make sense to me with all the books I've read. I've owned like 300 Black Library books. And Scions, Stormtroopers getting their own book. I mean,
easy now.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
You should be able to use Stormtroopers with your Imperial Guard army like they were meant to be the elite of that Imperial Guard army and use that Imperial Guard army's doctrines, in my opinion. I don't think they should have their own book.
I do miss the Carapace armor as well. Okay, well, I can't complain about the Guard Codex we have. If you have any thoughts on that, leave them as well.
But I'm a big Guard guy, and my next thing I'm building for my Guard is, which I'm lazy, slow builder, is my Rough Riders. I still think there's something to that there when you can have 6 hunting lances and 4 melta guns or 4 plasma guns or 4 flamers.
I think my Hellions would like to see it.
Yeah,
Good times.
that'd be good times.
Okay, that's really all we got tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, please like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I ask you to do that as well. We put videos out a couple times each month, and we really do this because we enjoy telling stories. So if you enjoy these stories, please let other people know about it, and like and subscribe and give some comments. So until next time, enjoy your games, and
Happy wargaming.
there we go.
Yeah.
Is that trademarked?
I don't know. I'm going to say what I say, Mike.
Got it.